spilled just a few coffee grounds this morning. And I brought out the broom and thought I'd swept them up. And then I walked out here, put my foot down. I did not like the feeling I had. So, rather than ignore it, because I've realized, I don't know, with the way my mind works, and maybe the way all of our mind works, maybe I'm not that special or interesting or different than anybody else. I'm in my dark closet putting away my brooms, by the way. My broom. It's better to address something and take care of it than, I work on myself and I try and get a little better, and I try and get a little better at letting things go and letting things be, and I don't know, kind of go back and forth. Accepting ourselves as we are, neurotic, wanting to clean up a few coffee grounds, and maybe it's not a big deal that I wanted to pick up a few coffee grounds on the ground. I mean, who wants to step on coffee grounds in the morning? Even though it was just a few. I don't know. So let's get my coffee. Let's get some water. Have a seat and see how our morning goes. We almost don't have anybody there. Nobody's joining me for coffee. I kind of think the world works itself out as the world's supposed to work itself out. And I've had something that's kind of been weighing on me over the last few days. I talked about it a little bit. I talk a little bit about everything on my shows. And my name's Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, hold on here. It is, what day is it? It's Monday morning. It is September 15th. Oh, it's dark outside. Starting early. It's Monday morning. It is September 15th. It is 5:34 a.m. Wow, happy Monday. It's about as early as I've gone live. Without having to get up in probably a couple months. And I honestly think it's because something's weighing on me. I had 2 jobs. I'm here in Appleton, Wisconsin. A transplant from Naperville, Illinois, back in February, so about 7 months ago. Yeah, just about 7 months ago. Been working 2 jobs. Got one almost the first day I got here, and was really good at it, and was honestly loved and respected there. But realized I was kind of capped out with work, that I did fairly okay, enough to keep going if I worked real hard and worked 5 or 6 days a week. And it was a more physical job than I expected or thought, or maybe I knew it would be, but I'm 57 and I'm older than most people that do this job. But I was working hard, and I think, as fate would have it, an opportunity came across my desk, if you will, my proverbial desk, and I took a different job. And I saw the potential in it, and saw what others were making doing it, and thought my skill set would translate to the second job. And I was juggling both jobs and trying to see my kids as much as I could. I'm twice divorced. I got 4 beautiful little ones. And was scheduled on the same day for both jobs a week ago. And I was trying to get out of work at both of them, hoping to keep both jobs, and wasn't able to give away my work. Makes it feel like there's more of a demand for this job than there is employees to fulfill the job. I think it is. I think that's true. But anyway, and in the job I had at first, where I was loved and worked hard and was good at, that company let somebody go a few days before the scheduling conflict I had. And they let a guy go who was a longtime worker, and he was all right. Wasn't my favorite guy in the world, but he was all right. He worked hard, he tried. And he'd been there a long time. And he worked a lot of hours. And somehow them letting him go, and he might have had a temper and, I don't know, lashed out at a boss or something like that. But either way, none of us are perfect. So they let him go, and I think that weighed heavily on me. It made me feel about the fragility of my own position. And that if they could let him go, they could let me go for some other reason. And would anybody really care or notice? Well, Joe's the guy they let go. If you're out there wondering if anybody noticed or cared that they let you go, I did. And I don't know, I think that weighed heavily on me and caused me to make the decision one of the reasons to make the decision to go after the second job. And you guys might not care about this at all, but if you don't care about it, you don't have to watch. But either way, I woke up, I did my best to smoothly make both jobs happy, and came to a point where I couldn't. And I chose to leave the job that I was loved at and good at for a job that I'd been struggling at, but had a lot of potential, and I thought I could get better at it. But like 6 days in, I'm realizing, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but if I could reverse it or rewind, and we can't, I wouldn't leave the first job for the second. I'd say, hey, for some reason I don't feel as the warm fuzzies when I go into work at the second job. I don't feel as welcome or as skilled or as well fit. And just because the potential to make more money is greater, doesn't mean you should make that choice. Now, having said that, I do believe things happen for a reason. And I do believe that as hard as I worked at the first job and as good as I felt there and as much love as I received, it was physically demanding. It wasn't hugely lucrative, but it was okay. And if it was the right job, maybe I wouldn't have made the decisions I did. And maybe things happen for a reason. And I think they do. So despite my sadness the last 3 days, having left the job I was good at and loved at and kind of looked at it as my social life here in Appleton, and despite that I don't think I'm good, I don't think I'm loved or even really wanted at my second job, to be honest, anymore. That hurts. That hurts. I think we all work to make money, but I think we all work to hopefully feel good a little bit. And to be appreciated and to be wanted and needed. Yeah. And I don't feel wanted or needed at the second job at all. I mean, I'm me. So most people kind of like me, but I certainly don't feel like I fit in. I certainly don't feel like I fit in. You know, and no matter how hard I try or how good I try to be, and my skill set does not seem to be a match for the second job. But maybe my personality doesn't either. It's interesting though. And I've been feeling depressed almost for the last 3 days because I'm on crap. You know, yeah, the potential's better for money. And if I got to a certain level, I could make a lot more money. And I've been feeling kind of depressed the last 3 days. It wasn't really depression, it was a little bit of sadness. And I think the difference between depression and sadness, depression is maybe a long-going or an ongoing feeling of being down and feeling hopeless. And I don't think that's what I feel. I feel a little sad that I missed my friends at my first job. I miss the accolades I get, the reliability of the work, and the warm fuzzies I felt just being popular there. But I still don't think it was the right one. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I'm excited to take my first sip. I don't like the name of the coffee. I had a brother. My brother took his life about 3 or 4 years ago. So I feel bad with the name of this coffee being Death Wish. Because I don't like to joke about men's mental health, especially when I'm feeling sad. Because I don't think it's really a joking matter. So I don't know that I like the name of this coffee. But the name of the coffee is Death Wish Coffee. It's their dark roast. And I'm gonna have a sip right now. And my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers, Fess. Oh. Oh. It was a long time coming for that sip. A very long time coming for that sip. I had to really share my feelings about my work predicament. So here I am, having worked 4 out of 5 days and nights at job number 2. Not feeling particularly valued or wanted or like I fit in at job number 2, which, just for definitional sake, since I left job number 1, really isn't job number 2 anymore. It's just job. So I'm sitting here without all the warm fuzzies of having 2 jobs. And believe me, there's a downside to having 2 jobs and working every day. The upside is you make more money and you're in a position to tell either job to shove it, and because you got a backup. But now that I only have job, I no longer have job one and job two, and I have job which I'm not that good at and not especially feeling wanted there. Oh, they're nice enough, but they don't love me like my first job. I totally feel like I dumped the good girl to go for the hot chick, and like in a relationship, and realized that the good girl had something to offer too. And I don't know, maybe the hot appeal of the woman or the potential of the money isn't all it's cracked out to be. And I almost laugh at myself. I do laugh at myself. But anyway, I'm sitting here going, all right, I'm tired. I worked 4 days out of 5 at a job that I don't feel that good at, or that welcome at, or that comfortable at. I have the day off today, I think. What day is it? It's Monday. I think I said it's Monday. I think that it's Monday. I had the day off today, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm up early, having these thoughts bouncing around my head. Somebody said, I've learned the grass is always greener. I think I knew that. And it weighed heavily. I felt bad. I felt horrible leaving the first job. I really did. I mean, I actually felt pretty great when I walked out the door and said, holy crap. I mean, really, I did feel pretty great going, holy crap, I don't have to be working 6-7 days every week and in this building. And I did feel a breath of fresh air and free a little bit. But I will say I was disappointed that almost the moment I did that, job 2 expressed dissatisfaction with me, let's just say. I mean, not over dissatisfaction, but certainly a lack of appreciation. And now I'm starting to look at it in a different aspect, and some people there in different ways, and things that go on there in different ways, and maybe not appreciate how it's run or some of the people as much. And that makes me sad a little bit. So let's drink some more coffee. So I woke up this morning at 4:50 with these thoughts bouncing in my head. I messaged a friend. I go, hey, I'm a little sad about work. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I went to church yesterday. Oh, that's good. It is always okay. Somebody said I should quit if it's giving me stress. Yeah, what's worse, it was always giving me stress. Work can give stress, but I think my presence is giving them stress. Which I don't like. And I'm trying hard. And I got a great attitude. I did. I feel my attitude now might suck. I think my attitude might now suck. I mean, it doesn't totally suck. I'm still trying hard. But I mean, how great can your attitude be if you don't feel appreciated or wanted particularly? And again, this goes to a relationship as a partner or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a spouse or whatever. If you don't feel appreciated or wanted, you know, how long are you going to show up as your best version of yourself? Somebody said maybe it's in my head. I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely in my head. It's definitely in my head, but I don't think it's just in my head. How long do I reckon I could survive in Australia? Well, like, what do you mean? In the outback? Like, with nothing but a, you know, spear and a big knife? Wearing, I don't know, kangaroo skin shorts without food or water? Or do you mean live in Australia like if I was dropped in Sydney right now in the middle of the city? Not dropped, set nicely. I bet I could get a job quickly in Sydney. Find, I mean, I don't know, it's probably warm. Find a place to sleep there and create whatever life I have in Australia that I do here. I don't think Australia, outside of the accent and the kangaroos and some poisonous snakes, is very different than the United States. That's what I think. So I think I could just survive just fine. Do they have coffee down there? Do they have coffee down there? I mean, I could survive without coffee. I would have been less enthused to get out of bed this morning. Honestly, over the last few days, I found myself, well, what do I do? Which was a feeling I had a couple of years ago. When I was in great despair. And I certainly don't feel my predicament. It's not even a predicament. It's just an interesting topic for today's show. And it's really not even a conundrum, because I know what I think I need to do. What do they say? Good is the enemy of great. And maybe I had a good situation with the first job. Maybe I want a great situation with my job or my career. Maybe I do. And I was willing to roll the dice and leave the safety of the nest to go for something that I thought could provide better and be a little longer term. Maybe that's okay. I mean, I wish I had $500,000 in the bank to not worry about the financial situation. I wish I could not go to the second job ever again because I don't feel appreciated at all. And I'm not even blaming them. I might not be any good at it. I might suck at it. I mean, I don't totally suck. It's kind of funny feeling that way. Because I'm not blaming them. I'm just not very skilled at what they do. Despite my best efforts. How about travel around the country and do my show? Well, I mean, I'd run out of gas money if I traveled around the country. Believe me, I tried to just do my show a year ago, but then I found myself living in the Kia Soul. And stressed and cold. I was getting in pretty good shape though, because I was working out all the time, because I worked out because I'd go to the gym to shower. But I don't want to do that again. I'll tell you what, I was thankful for my bed this morning. Even though I had fearful thoughts and some sad thoughts. Wanted to reach out to people. Only reached out to one. wanted to reach out to people involved in the situation, people at both jobs, but maybe that's not the thing to do. I think I know what I need to do. I do know what I need to do. I just don't know what that looks like. I do have this, Julie. I do have this. Somebody says we have affordable health care. Are you still talking about Australia? Like I should go to Australia? I mean, I have no thoughts of going to Australia. I don't think the grass would be greener in Australia. As a matter of fact, I just feel it would be, honestly, it doesn't even sound that exciting to me because it would be so similar, I think. Except people saying, good day, mate, which I might think is fun for a while. Maybe I could go to Australia, acquire an accent, become some Australian movie star, and come back to the States and star in movies like a Crocodile Dundee Reborn or something. Crocodile Tracy. I'll just walk around in my kangaroo skin shorts saying, good day, mate, a lot. That ain't a knife. This is a knife. Do I smoke cigarettes? No. Somebody said Australia is expensive. If I could meet my younger self, what advice would I give my younger self? I don't even know. I mean, go to church, have faith, work hard, get better. But none of that would I listen to. I often talk about advice, you know, like if I reached out to a friend and said, hey, what should I do, friend? That's one thing. But a lot of people in this world, I think, will tell you what to do or what you should do. And I don't even think, people often say, well, it's well-intended. I'm not even sure that it is well-intended. I think it's almost in some ways to flex how smart that the other person knows better a little bit. Because unless you're being asked for advice, you know, telling people what they should do unsolicited, I think is kind of rude. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, advice for myself as a kid. But I wouldn't have listened to me. You know, I would have said, shove it, you old man. Where's my hair? What happened to my hair? What did you do with my hair? Don't tell me you went through 2 divorces. Do not tell me. I posted a video instead of college, I think it was called, maybe a couple hours ago. I'd woken up and posted it. And I talked a little bit during that video about, you know, things I would have done different, but it was mostly career thoughts. It was mostly maybe not going to college. I think it was Instead of College was the title of the video. And instead of going to college and trying to do the traditional route, I think just dive in and get a job as a, I don't know, a waiter or something at 18. A job that pays fairly well and it's kind of fun if you're young and, I don't know, you're partying. And maybe worked on myself. But I'd like to say I wouldn't have drank. I would have gone to church. I would have had faith. But I don't know if I would have done any of those things when I'm 18. You know, when you're 18, you're dumb and you're going to do dumb things and make mistakes and hopefully learn from the mistakes. You know, I do this show and I talk about it. And I'm hoping people can learn something or feel not so alone. I talk a lot about sobriety and not drinking, men's mental health and, you know, career highs and lows and struggles with divorce and fatherhood and kids and plants and bills and baths and working out. And I talk about all sorts of stuff. People often come on, what's the show about? As if I need a niche or a consistent topic. But I think the beauty of this show is, since I'm just talking about regular stuff that are regular-ish, as regular as I am, Guy goes through every day, a lot of people connect to it. Because we all have issues and we all have bills to pay and holes in our faith and struggles in relationships and waking up hungover and moments of fear and doubt and all those things. I often think, when am I going to run out of things to talk about, or how many videos am I going to be able to post? Holy crap, I don't even know how many videos I posted. Like 6,500. And it seems every one, I think, is either funny or inspirational or worthwhile. His and Hers Landscaping is here. Rebecca likes the random conversation. His and Her Landscaping, weren't we going to go into real estate together? Aren't you a youngish guy that has a desire to get into real estate? I would like to have a large opening in my schedule, His and Her Landscaping. I mean, I'm still scheduled to work, but I don't feel I'm wanted. You know how sucky it is going into a job? And who else would say they don't feel wanted at their job? I don't know. Would anyone else? Or say they're not good at their job? You know, certainly my place of employment isn't perfect, but I don't really blame them. I wish I had known that they questioned my skill set before I left the first job, not the week I did. I was a little disappointed about that, but I can't really argue with them. Let's see, at least you know you're wanted here. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Brandis said he's self-employed, so he'd never bash himself. I don't know what that means exactly. Nancy said she's a realtor. Don't go into real estate. No, Nancy, I've done that. I've been there, done that. I think I was probably in this spot 20 years ago, and I go, hey, I want to run my own business. I'll get into real estate. I'm outgoing, I'm friendly, I have a big smile. People generally like me. I'll sell 1 million homes. See, I didn't love real estate. Oh, coffee shop? I don't want to open a coffee shop. I don't want to open a coffee shop. Why don't you all tell like 100 of your closest friends to tune in every morning? And that way, instead of 42 people watching, I'd have 4,200. And we could all sit and chat about my coffee, about Australia, about maybe going to the Y and working out today. I have a buddy, by the way, one of my best friends back in Illinois, called me, left a message, and he has, he bought at an auction like a round of golf at this extremely nice, super high-end private course in the western suburbs of Chicago, and wants me to play, and gave me some dates. I suck right now at golf. I'm so bad it doesn't even sound fun. I would get frustrated, I'd embarrass myself. I can barely hit the ball. Felt good saying that. People are debating where has the best coffee. again, I think that's a grass is always greener, isn't always greener subject. I think the best coffee is the coffee we have in the mug in front of us. Therefore, I'm going to say I have the best coffee. Oh, Rebecca agrees with me that I have the best coffee. I seem really down on myself. Why? Because I say I suck at golf? I don't think I'm down on myself at all. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I'm down on myself. I think the first job was lucky as hell to have me. The second job doesn't appreciate me, and I don't blame him. And I suck at golf. That doesn't mean I'm down on myself. Jeez. I do suck at golf. Believe me, I tried positive affirmations. I do positive affirmations, but they don't work with golf. I really talk myself into a great mindset before I swing, and I envision a beautiful shot, but oftentimes it doesn't come out that way. We have a strong coffee culture here in Australia. What does it mean, a strong coffee? Could you have a stronger coffee culture than me or than Appleton, Wisconsin? I mean, literally, there's a Starbucks a block, probably 300 yards that way. There's a coffee shop there. I have 1, 2, 3, not even counting the Starbucks, I have 5 coffee shops within 4 blocks of right here. And I'm not even counting the Starbucks. I've never seen, so I don't believe that Australia has such a hoity-toity coffee culture. I have never seen a coffee culture like I have in Appleton, Wisconsin. I have never seen a greater concentration of cool kind of coffee shops in my life than here in Appleton, Wisconsin. Somebody says it looks like I'm in a hospital. Because there's a parking lot out there or something? Or because of the big windows? I mean, that's a library over there. There's a parking lot right across the street. There's a Greek restaurant. I wonder if they're hiring. I could go there and go, hey, I used to be a waiter. I don't speak Greek, but I love the heck out of gyros. How are your gyros? Do you want to hire me? My current job thinks I suck. I actually do suck. I'd probably say this in the interview. I can't imagine I'd be lying and saying, oh, I'm great at my current job. They love me there. I don't think I will. I almost want to do it, just walk over there. I wonder if they're open for breakfast. If they woke up, open at 6. Excuse me. Sorry, we're a fine dining restaurant. We don't open at 6 a.m. Excuse me. Is there somebody here I can talk to? I suck at the job I have, and I suck at golf. Will you hire me? But I love coffee, and I love Appleton. His and Her Landscaping said, you haven't heard of any houses selling in your area. But His and Her's Landscaping, it was you, correct? That talked about like rehabbing homes. Somebody said I still smoke cigarettes. I don't even know what you're talking about. Didn't say I still smoke cigarettes. And I'm not a fake. I really do suck at my current job. They even think so. It's horrible. Wow, you should have told me this a week ago. Where am I? I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful town of 75,000 people, about 200 miles north of Chicago, Illinois. And yeah, that's all I have about that. Let's see. Tariffs will kick your butt if you rehab right now. Equity in the trash. Oh. They will start soon. I really almost did my show. Occasionally I'll do it, no comments. Because I kind of wanted to just ramble. And I did. I just ignored most of the comments. I mean, I've acknowledged a couple of the comments. I think Julie Flanagan said cheers. A couple people said something about Australia. His and Her Landscaping is back on the horn. So that all feels good. But yeah, I almost did it without the comments at all, because then I can just kind of talk and ramble, and you can either watch or you don't have to. That's what's nice. That's what's nice about doing this. You know, nobody really to impress. Although I said if you each told your friends, I'd have 4,200 viewers. I think the charm of the show is I'm not overly concerned. Yeah, I'm just being me drinking coffee. Seems like I'm giving up. You don't know me very well. I don't give up. What am I giving up on? The second job? Maybe. My golf game? I should. But it doesn't seem like I'm giving up. I talk openly about feelings and emotions on this show, because I think we all have them. And a lot of us would never say we suck at our job or we suck at golf. But that's kind of how I feel right now, and it makes me laugh. And laughter's got to be good. Mahmoud says, it's kind of thinking out loud. I do that too. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely thinking out loud. I'll tell you what. I walked into job number 2 yesterday. We're not into it, but through a door. And somebody goes, what? And we're going to have to stop calling it job number 2. Let's just change its name to job. I walked through a door at job. And somebody goes, what? And I go, oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself. I was working at Target a few years ago, and I was stocking shelves. It was after my 17-year real estate career. If you're twice divorced and you're leaving a career and you need a job and you have 4 beautiful kids that you need to pay child support for, I mean, I'd say I wouldn't recommend working at Target, but I didn't have any other job offers. I was excited to have a job. I was sitting in front of the judge going, I don't know, I was a realtor a month ago and I'm not a realtor anymore. And she's going, what sort of prospects do you have? Well, I'm starting training at Target tomorrow, Your Honor. Well, that sounds like a good start. Kerchunk. I had to say something. So I took my job at Target. I think I was paid $15.50 an hour. That's not enough. Warning to anybody. And they give raises, like they do like an annual review, and they give the employees like 50-cent raises. And I'm not saying they should give more or that $15.50 wasn't enough. I mean, it wasn't enough for me. I'm not saying I deserved any more because they can hire kids. You know, everyone wants to work there for the employee discount. But I'm telling you, if you got real bills to pay, stocking shelves at Target doesn't do it. Nancy says you heard they pay way better now. I doubt it. It was it 2 years ago? Who's been watching the show for a while? Was it 2 years ago? I would do the show on my coffee break, sitting outside. I'd sneak out to my car, not sneak, go out to my car, drink some coffee, and hop on live and go, holy crap, here I am. It's hot out today. I'm wearing a red shirt. I started every morning at 7. I would do my show before that. I would go to the Starbucks, I think. Yeah, the Starbucks right there, and do my show. Yep, 2 years ago. Well, thank you, Julie, for keeping track. Working at Target is better than nothing, though. Yeah, no, that's an interesting thought. It's an interesting thought that it's better than nothing. Because I would equate that. And maybe it's better than nothing, but like to be out at sea on like a door. Picture Leonardo DiCaprio in the Titanic without that redhead that throws him off into the ocean. So picture him without the whole ship sinking all around, floating out at sea and saying, well, this door's better than nothing, and maybe the door would be better than nothing, but not able to go find something better than that. And I was working there full time. And maybe it was better than nothing. Maybe I should have been really actively searching for a different job. I guess. I guess. In hindsight, I guess. But I wasn't. I was thinking this should work out. It didn't work out that well. So, if anybody out there, your husband divorced you and you get 10 grand per month alimony, you hope his cheating was worth it. Did he cheat or did he divorce you? Like it shows you're not on your arse doing nothing. No, I agree. And it made the judge happy. And it covered a very minimal child support to both ex-wives. But it didn't pay my bills. But anyway, my point was I was sitting in the aisle, the cereal aisle. I had the coolest style in the whole store. I took a lot of pride in it. I'd have people coming through and I'd be telling them we're going to put disco lights in it. Speakers, and we're going to have people dancing down the aisle. I think I was too much of a character for Target. It's kind of interesting because they talk about expressing your uniqueness. I don't know that they loved my uniqueness at Target. I don't think Job loves my uniqueness now. Job 1, which is from now hereforth known as my former job, loved my uniqueness. Not everybody did, but most did. Or some really did. Let's see, that's a good analogy. Eventually you would have to drown in debt. You know, it was weird. I was working every day and I'm going, okay, you know, there goes my money and it's not even close to covering my bills. My rent was $2 grand a month. I had an Audi A6, which my payments were like $650 a month. You do the math. For any of you good at math out there, 15 times 50 times 40 is, I think, $620 a week times 4, I think is 2,480 every 4 weeks. After taxes was like $2,000. It didn't add up. So it was weird. It was a weird feeling. I remember talking to my buddy going, I don't know what the hell I should do. Here I am. I'm working. I'm not sitting on my arse, but I'm drowning. When do I swim for shore? Leave the door, then I'm bobbing in the ocean. I don't know when it was time to leave. About 3 months ago, I was talking about working both jobs and saying, when should I leave the first job and go to the second? And again, I think things happen for a reason. And I think that the first job wasn't going to cut it long term. You know, I hoped it would, because again, it felt nice being appreciated. But it probably wasn't going to cut it long term. And I hoped the second job would. And that's why I jumped ship, if you would. But in reality, I'm not good at the second job. Yeah. John B. is listening to the morning show on the way to work. John B., it was awesome having you tune in on your day off yesterday, I'll tell you that. I like John B. I don't even know who he is or where he is. He doesn't ever really get involved in the conversation. He just listens. It's kind of nice. Oh, Taylor. I don't know that I need to come up with a plan just yet. I was talking to a friend yesterday and going, well, what should I do today? And it was morning, and I was going to go to work, and I had church to go to, or the gym to go to, or work to go to, and I almost thought about not going into work and just saying, to heck with it. Let's look for another job. Let's do something reactionary. Let's not go to work. They don't want me or appreciate me. I should find something else. And I chose, I think, prudently not to be reactionary. Hop in the shower, put on a white button-down shirt, which, by the way, not many people wear in Wisconsin. You look awfully fancy if you're wearing a shirt that has buttons when you live in Wisconsin. This is fine dining garb here in Wisconsin. Isn't it, Julie? You know that it is. Is Schlevel here? How many people we have from Wisconsin watching? How was church? It was pretty good. I'll tell you what. I go to a big church here in Appleton. I miss my church in Naperville. That's really about the only thing I miss in Naperville is the church I went to. Yeah, I mean, I don't miss really anything else. I really don't. My kids don't live there. It's fine. But either way, I miss my church in Naperville. But outside of that, I don't miss anything. So I've been going to a church. It's a big kind of Christian church. And I really enjoyed the band that used to play and the people and then the child care and everything about that first church. Not everything. It wasn't perfect, but nothing's perfect. And I've been going to a church called Alliance, which is this big old church here in Appleton. And I don't know how many are in I don't know if it's parishioners or whatever. Churchgoers go every day or every Sunday, but I don't know. It's a big room. It's filled. It feels like 1,000. I mean, I don't know. I never count. But it feels like 1,000 people in there. Might be more, could be less, but we'll say 1,000. But anyway, there's a band that plays at the beginning. And I don't think I love the band. They lean towards kind of fast-paced, poppy Christian music. And I don't think I like fast-paced, poppy Christian music. No. It doesn't touch my soul or bring me to tears or make me want to dance and scream. So anyway, they play 3 songs, and usually it seems to run like 20, 25 minutes, and you're standing. Sometimes I'm tired and I don't want to stand. You know, if I'm not tired, I might want to stand. And some of the words will touch my heart and I'll cry and it'll feel beautiful and I'll feel right. Very rarely does the music at this church make me cry. How was it though? It was good. It was good. I was glad I went. I was glad I showered. I was glad I wore my button-down shirt. It was good. Oh. So anyway, it's Monday morning. The sun hasn't started coming up yet over the buildings over there. I wonder if the Greek restaurant has opened yet. Tap, tap, tap. Sorry, sir, we're still not open. We're a fine dining Greek restaurant. Go away. We live upstairs. Let us sleep. Yes, our gyros are good, but we're not hiring today. We don't care that you waited tables in Yellowstone. It's an interesting story. Thanks for showing me the picture of you on the scooter outside the East Gate when you were snowed out, but we're still not hiring. And if we were, we only hire people that know Greek. And you do not know Greek, sir. Plus, it's 6:28 in the morning. Get the hell off our stoop. Moving to a different place always makes you feel good, like starting life over. Felix, how often do you move to new places? I moved up here in February, and I'm very pleased with this, despite the fact that this is dressy in Wisconsin. I really like it. I really like it up here. I really like the community. I like it a lot. Should I get some more coffee? How long have we talked? What's our audience like? We've got 41 people. We got 33 thumbs up. I appreciate those 33 thumbs up. I wonder if we could get a couple more. We got one more. Oh, we should at least get 40 thumbs up, shouldn't we? This is ridiculous. This sort of quality content merits. I knew a girl named Mary. That's all I got about that, but she spelled it different. She had 2 R's and 2 T's, I think, in her name. But anyway, this sort of quality content merits at least 40 thumbs up, I think, even on a Monday morning, even starting early. Good afternoon. Who's saying good afternoon? Ken, with me as your manager, you could go right to the top. Well, what sort of take are you coming in? What sort of take are you getting to be my manager? 25%? Nettie Bennett, you want 25% to manage me? I don't know. I don't know what value you really bring to the table, Nettie. I don't think you've ever been on my show before. And you are wanting 25% of the take. I mean, granted, the take isn't huge right now. So if you did absolutely nothing, you might be looking at 60, 250 a month, let's say, with your 25% managerial fees. But I don't really know what you do to deserve it and how you could take me to the top. It's standard in the industry, you said. Well, but you haven't. I'm not sure if you offer anything to me, Nettie. You've never even watched my show before. So I appreciate your offer for 25% of my royalties. Oh. Oh, Taylor. How long has Taylor had an account? Is anybody there? Can somebody tell me if Taylor's a real person? Anytime that somebody new hops on and gets very involved in my show right off the bat, it's usually a fake account. Yeah. You are welcome, John's Adventures. It was wonderful the time we spent together. It was wonderful the time we spent together. Good morning, Sarah Shanahan. How are you? How are you today? Oh, that's good. That is good. Well, it feels good to have talked today. Sarah's waiting in your car for work to start. Now, are you a financial planner, Sarah? Is that right? I think you made a comment on one of my videos. I think you're a real person, Sarah. So I appreciate that. If that was you that commented on one of my videos, I think you enjoyed your job, which is nice, which is very nice. Would I agree with the saying, change is as good as a holiday? I've never heard that saying. Did you just make up that saying? Change is as good as a holiday. I don't know what that means at all. I don't think that's a saying at all. Somebody told me about I'm old, I'm 57, and when you would share gossip, you would say, spill the beans. I learned from my friend who's very connected to what the kids are saying these days. She'd say the kids call it spilling the tea. I did not know that. Let's see. Cleo said change is scary. Rebecca Tilley, you've heard that saying, spill the tea? Well, apparently it is, because she was right. She asked some people around us, and they knew what she was talking about. I'd never heard of it, though. I'd never heard of it. I'd always heard spill the beans. Okay, that's what your daughters say, spilling the tea. Oh, Rebecca, I know I'm still young. Honestly, I feel great. I really do. I really do. I do. I think I'm self-aware. I think I have a ton of ambition and ability. And honestly, feel good almost having the blank canvas that is my day ahead of me. I mean, uh, knowing what I'm going to do, knowing I'm going to grow my social media a little bit, knowing I've already completed an important part of my day by having some coffee and talking with you all kind folk for a little while. And I'm looking forward to my day, and I'm looking forward to the sun rising and hoping it's a nice, cool, crisp fall morning. I'm not sure what the weather is today, but I'm hopeful. And I'm looking forward to working out, looking forward to showering, seeing what's available to me and what's out there. And yeah, wait. Zenobia says the saying suggests change can be as refreshing and rejuvenating as taking a break or going on a vacation. But I'm not sure it's a saying at all. Has anybody ever said, besides Zenobia, that change is as good as a holiday? I'm not sure anyone's ever said that. I'm going to Google it. I almost want to hang up on you guys right now so I can Google it and see if change, yeah, is as good as a holiday. I'm not arguing that change is similar to a holiday, but I'm just not sure that it's a saying. Oh, Cleo said my weather is 62 degrees. Is that currently or high today? A high of 62 would be exactly what I'm looking for. Because if it's 62 right now, it's probably going to get into the mid 70s. And, I want to wear jeans and sweatshirts. I think that's what I look good in today. We have a glorious, hey, we got up to 41 likes. That feels good. We have a glorious audience today. Where are they from? I have a hard time keeping track of the conversation a little bit. Maybe it's because I was up early. JV Joe, JV, you don't talk, you just listen. Spilling the tea might be a crossover from the United Kingdom. Well, certainly it seems in Britain they drink a lot of tea. There's no doubt about that. They have tea time. I wonder how much has changed in the last 30 years over there. How do I feel about 6-year-olds playing Roblox with slop music getting 100 times the viewers? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what Roblox is. And do 6-year-olds play it, and do they get 100 times the viewers? I don't know. Let's see. So I have no feelings about 6-year-olds playing Roblox, listening to slop music, getting 100 times the viewers. I have absolutely no thoughts about that. Oh, JV Joe, yes, spilling the beans. That's what we called it. I don't know why. I don't know why one would say spill the beans, but we did. Now that's the saying. Change is like a holiday. I'm not sure it's really a saying. I think you just made that up. Mrs. Roth wishes the temperature could be in the 70s. Where do you live, Mrs. D. Roth? Mahmood says, you guess it means vacation refreshes your soul after hard work. I didn't interpret that from changes like a holiday. I think it is a saying. I think she means it's like a temporary fix, like a vacation. Oh, it's a proverb, which started roughly in the 1870s. Spill the tea comes from black drag culture. I mean, like drag, like a drag show, like wearing dresses if you're a man? Is there a black drag culture? I mean, I'm sure there's some drag queens that are black. But is there a whole culture? A movement of black drag? Well, if you're from Texas, yeah, no, it's hot in Texas. Did I start early today? I did. I woke up at 4:50. And kind of laid there for a bit, texted a friend, and thought, what the heck? Let's get up and see how what the day looks like. See how my coffee tastes. Let me tell you, my coffee tastes pretty dang good. My coffee tastes pretty dang good. I'm gonna have one more sip. Oh. I used to go to bars and say, I'm gonna have one more. And you sit at a bar and you'll see people going, I'll take one more. And they don't mean one more, they mean another. So when I say I'll have one more sip of coffee, doesn't necessarily mean one more sip. It means another, like watch. But anyway, it is Monday morning. I want to thank you for joining me today. And I hope you had a great weekend. And what type of coffee is it? JV Joe, you're supposed to just listen. I was going to sign off. It's, should I get the bag? I'll get the bag. Oh! Oh! It's the Death Wish coffee, dark roast. That's what type of coffee it is. Oh. So anyway, well, Sarah, thank you for watching my show, and thank you for saying thank you. I very much appreciate you hopping on, and sorry to hear about your struggles, and know that we all go through struggles, and know that, you know, no matter how glorious someone else's life looks, they've got issues too. So just don't feel so alone with your struggles or your loneliness or what have you. And I want to thank you all for joining, and hope you have a wonderful day, and hope you had a great weekend, and hope you are feeling good. And I hope you are loving yourself. And I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.